pioneers of a venture so new that you who stand here before me now, after 3 years, may still be considered forerunners in the movement which has given you a place in the fighting men of the sky.
The 1945 Army Air Force's movie Wings for This Man celebrated the Tuskegee Airmen, the first African-American military aviators in the U.S. Armed Forces. The pilots who flew combat missions during World War II faced many challenges. They trained on run-down runways. Their commanders were white officers who mostly stayed in the position just long enough for a promotion and a transfer to another unit. The current vice president of the Black Pilots of America Association, Eugene Stanley, says there was so much discrimination against black pilots at the time, the experiment was initially set up to fail.
The whole Tuskegee Airmen experiment was not an experiment to show that blacks could fly airplanes or that blacks should serve in the military and in the elite organizations. It was put in place to show that we did not have the mental capacity or the physical aptitude to be able to handle complex machinery like an airplane. Well, clearly, they were wrong.
Frank Green, the president of a Black Pilots chapter in the eastern state of Maryland, the Chesapeake Blackhawks, points to an even earlier historical figure, showcased here at the College Park Aviation Museum, John W. Green.
At a time when it was extremely difficult for black people to have an opportunity to fly, he not only flew an airplane, but he was the first black individual to own and operate an airfield in America.
The late Green, who became a commercially licensed pilot in the 1930s, started his own airport in Maryland so black pilots like himself could have the opportunity to fly. Frank Green says while celebrating history is important, realizing discrimination remains should also be addressed. He says among contemporary black pilots, very few do well professionally in terms of commercial airlines.
Actually, here in America, the number of airline pilots that are captains are very, very small, really minuscule. I think it is about 2%.
One solution he suggests is much like the Tuskegee Airmen and John W. Green, who rose to new heights despite discrimination, is for black pilots of today to seek employment in smaller regional airlines and quickly make their way up. Nico Columbus, VOA News, Washington.